Right, so hello everybody. Wow, there are a lot of you here. So today we are going to talk about memes in America. What is a meme? What is meme in Russian? Well, the Russian word, yes, but even more than this. What is a meme? Can anyone describe what a meme is? So, funny pictures, yes. Does anyone else have a different definition? What else is a meme?
A picture that is famous and easy to understand to everybody.
Awesome, good, right? These are pretty good definitions of what a meme is, but a meme is this and more. Memes are more than funny pictures. Before we really get started, we need to talk about what a meme is. Where are the buttons? They are. So, what is a meme? The word meme was invented in the year 1976 by evolutionary biologist Richard Dawkins. He originally used this word to mean a trait that was passed down that was not genetic. For example, if a bird, I'm going to draw a bird, I'm sorry. There we go. Yeah, pretty good bird. If a bird eats a certain kind of fruit, right, and the bird's beak, this is small, it has a hard time. But if the bird evolves a bigger beak, it can eat the fruit more easily, right? For example, this is a genetic trait. It is in its DNA. But if this bird learns a new way to eat the fruit, if it learns to drop it from very high up, and it teaches its children how to do this, that is a trait that is non-genetic, right? This makes sense so far. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes.
Good, I'm getting lots of yeses. That, Richard Dawkins would say, is a meme. But now, so memes have gone from biology to mean funny pictures on the internet, right? But more than this, a meme is anything that spreads culture from person to person. Usually this is on the internet, but we can have non-internet memes. We will talk about this. Do you guys have memes in Russia?
Yes.
Of course you do. Of course you have Russian memes, right? We have three right here. We have Привет, we have Здравствуйте, and we have Чайка. Right? So the thing that's really interesting to me about Russian memes is, number one, first, they are all incorrect Russian, right? Привет is not a word. Привет is a word. Здравствуйте is not a word. Здравствуйте is a word. Things like that. So they're all grammatically incorrect Russian, what is called Padankovsky speak, Padankovsky язык. But even more interesting than this is that the Russian mistakes follow certain rules. So they change letters around to different letters, right? So like a stressed E becomes like a yeah, right? They drop certain letters. There are rules to Padankovsky язык. They're not Russian rules, they're their own rules. We have something like this had, I would say, in English. In the mid-2000s or so, maybe 2008, it was popular on the internet to replace letters with numbers, and each number meant a letter. So the number 1 meant L, the number 3 meant E, 7 meant T, right? So people would make words and they would replace letters with numbers. So they would write something like, right, what does this say?
Hello.
Hello, awesome. A really common one was 1337. What does this say? It says elite. Yes, Mike knows. It's short for elite, right? When someone is really, really good at something, they are elite. So people, when they would play video games, they would write 1337, and everyone knew that meant elite, because it said lead. Kind of looks like it, right? That is sort of an English version of this. Keep the idea of podenkovsky język in mind, though. We are going to talk a little bit more about something similar. Can you have memes without the internet? Yes, of course you can. I think that's the next one. Yes, we have memes from before the internet, and from before Richard Dawkins even thought of the word meme. What? Do people in Russia like cats? Yes, very much. Then you will like these pictures. Some of the first memes we have in American culture are literally just people taking pictures of cats. In the 1870s, a man named Harry Pointer started taking pictures of cats and putting words with them, right? So the cat is next to a camera and it says, "The photographer." In the 1870s, people probably thought that was really funny. It still is kind of funny. Again, in the early 20th century, in the early 1900s, a man named Harry Whittier Fries also did this. But he would dress cats up. So this picture is from Harry Pointer. This is a Harry Whittier Fries picture. I guess people named Harry really like cats. So the cat is dressed up in a dress, and it says, "What's delaying my dinner?" Right? Why is dinner late? Again, this was probably funny 100 years ago. Keep the idea of cat pictures in mind. Don't forget about pictures of cats. Another really, really famous American pre-internet meme is "Kilroy was here." Has anyone ever heard of "Kilroy was here"? No, this is a pretty uniquely American thing. In World War II, in what you would call the Great Patriotic War, people in the United States military would draw this on almost everything. On tanks, on airplanes, on jeeps, on machine guns, right? So airplanes, we have machine guns. No one knows who started doing this first. Some people think that it was wounded soldiers in a hospital started to do it. But it is more likely that there was one guy on the east coast of the United States, and his job was inspecting ships, making sure that the ships were built correctly. And then when he would say, "Yes, the ship was built, it was a good ship," right? He would write, "Kilroy was here" on the side of it. His last name was Kilroy. The drawing, this is called a doodle, is a short, quick drawing that you can do easily. This is British originally. It started in World War I, but in the United States during World War II, in the military, they combined the phrase "Kilroy was here" with the drawing. So there are places they would draw this on walls, on everything. This picture exactly was probably drawn over 1 million times over the course of 4 years. It was very, very, very popular. Okay? It started with one person, right? It's culture, and it spread one person to lots of people, right? That is the core idea of a meme.
And this meme, does it mean something specific? Or
No, it's just a thing.
Just a picture.
It's just a picture, right? It's just a picture people liked. So, we are on to the internet era, right? The heyday, the golden age, the zolotoy viek of memes. What websites do we usually talk about memes with, though? So the original one is 4chan. 4chan really started the meme revolution on the internet. Lots of the early memes started on 4chan. But nowadays, 4chan, don't go on 4chan. It's gotten really bad. Reddit is really the kind of core meme production now. It's like the meme zavod. So most good memes come from Reddit nowadays, basically. We will see some. First, We have to talk about all your base or belong to us. You guys all speak English. Does this make any sense to you? All your base or belong to us. No, right? This is really bad English. This is one of the first major early internet memes. It became popular in 1998 and 1999, right when people were figuring out, hey, I found a funny picture. I can send this to all my friends, right? Where does this come from? It comes from a Japanese video game called Zero Wing. The game was originally in Japanese, and then they tried to make an English version, and they went from saying in Japanese, "We have captured your base," to "all your base or belong to us," right? The translation was bad. The whole conversation is here. What happened? Somebody set up us the bomb. We get signal. What? No question mark. No question mark. Main screen turn on. Turn on. Good phrasal verb. It's you. How are you, gentlemen? Again, no question mark. All your base or all your base or belong to us. You are on the way to destruction. What you say? No question mark. You have no chance to survive. Make your time. Ha 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 ha. Captain, take off every zig. You know what you doing. Move zig. For great justice. Right? This doesn't make any sense as English, right? It's close, but it's not quite there. So what does all your base tell us? What does all your base or belong to us teach us about American internet culture? It shows us that Americans like laughing when people make mistakes in English, right? If I were to say something in Russian wrong, would you laugh at me? Yes, you would, right? Right, of course you would, right? I've had multiple times in my life where I've tried to say something in Russian, and I said something completely different, and accidentally said something really, really bad, right? And that's really funny, I think, to everyone, especially Americans. All your base belong to us. Grade A, memeage. The next one, really important, lolcats. Right? I said, remember the cat pictures. And I said, remember Papankovsky язык. Right? This is why you need to remember those things. So lolcats come from 4chan. Probably 2005. Back then, 4chan had a thing called Catterdays, where on Saturdays, people would post pictures of cats. And that's it, right? So people had pictures of cats, and they started putting captions, right? Words with pictures on these. So the first Urban Dictionary post for lolcats came in 2006, and in June of that same year, the domain name, the website lolcats.com was registered. Why did I say, remember cat pictures? That's pretty obvious, right? Cat pictures. But why did I say, remember Papankovsky speak? Because I can has cheeseburger is not correct English, right? What should it say?
Can I have a cheeseburger?
Exactly. It should say, can I have a cheeseburger? But, just like Papankovsky язык in Russian, these people changed correct English into incorrect English, but followed certain rules, right? Have is always has, right? I has a sad. I can has cheeseburger. They would replace certain words with other words, so that the idea of Papankovsky язык and lolcats speak is very, very similar. Sometimes there aren't captions. Sometimes you just have a picture of a cat with a lime on its head. What do lolcats teach us about the American internet? Number one, of course, cats are still popular on the internet. They will always be popular, probably. And again, the use of incorrect English on the internet mirrors the use of incorrect Russian. Okay? People are similar. Next up, we have advice animals. Most of these aren't animals, right? So these became very popular in the year 2009. Each advice animal's meme features a picture. So there is always a picture, and there are 2 rows of text. One above, one in below. And each picture means something different. So top left here, we have Scumbag Steve, right? He makes fun of your job, is unemployed, right? Is that a good thing to do? If you don't have a job, should you make fun of, should you laugh at other people's jobs? No, you shouldn't, right? That is not very nice. That is why we use Scumbag Steve. If you see this picture, you will always know that you do not want to do what the words say. Next up, top right, we have Good Guy Greg, the only one with a car, makes 2 trips to bring everyone. So say there are 10 people, right? He is the only one with a car, so he drives the group somewhere and picks the other people up and takes them there too, right? Is that good? If you have a car, should you drive your friends places? Yes, you should, right? If there's a big group. That is Good Guy Greg. He does good things for people. Makes sense? If you see this picture, you want to be like Good Guy Greg. You don't want to be like Scumbag Steve. Our next picture is Confession Bear. I actually kind of like Nickelback. Does anyone in here like Nickelback? I'm sorry, but you're wrong. So Confession Bear is what people use to anonymously confess, like if they feel guilty. So anonymously means without anyone